Welcome to TechTalk Fridays, and Karam, today is another Friday, and it's been a while actually. But you know, it's interesting, space agencies, right? So, you know, we know about North Korea and US and China and the guys, but apparently Malaysia has 3 space agencies, right?
Correct, yeah.
And there's more fun in the works?
Well, I mean, it's actually quite serious work, and now I was going to throw a silly remark out there, which I won't, because I'm a fan of Lost in Space, but I won't say anything about us being lost in space in the same sentence on this show. But seriously,
but you already did, so.
No, so I actually went on Monday for a visit. Our Minister of Science, Technology, and first of all, energy first.
Yeah,
right?
you'll be.
Yeah, energy, science, technology, environment,
quite
and
a long
climate
one,
change. Yeah. So she went to visit the Malaysian Remote Sensing Agency. And it was there that then she announced that the government, the cabinet has already agreed in February, they're going to merge 2 of the space agencies into one.
Okay, makes sense.
And and this is going to be called the Malaysian Space Agency, right? And the idea is to create to have maximize efficiency and impact, because there may be some redundancy between the 2 of them. And she said, you know, eliminate that. And also because we've got I think a National Space Policy 2030, which I have not read. So
really?
Yes,
wow.
So.
Okay.
No, but it's good. Actually, this Malaysian...
And this came out some time ago, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
When the Malaysians, the Space Policy 2030 came out, I don't know, but it was in her speech, right? So, but she was there, she was explaining to the folks at the Malaysian Remote Sensing Agency that there'll be very important, no jobs reduction, right? Everybody wants to hear that. And it's just consolidating resources, because, you know, in the government, they've got very good infrastructure, right? So there's this Malaysian, the one is the Malaysian National Space Agency, is in Banting, and that's a 270 or 257 million facility. Wow. They got a lot of very good equipment there, which is not being well utilized. So one of the...
But what's the intent of these space agencies? I mean,
so it's to do some
research,
like the Malaysian Remote is to do research. Yeah, there were a lot of researchers there, and you do testing. So the one in Banting is a testing facility. So it's like a semiconductor facility where you come and test, you know, your equipment or your software, even your hardware. It's very hardware based. So if you see the article, there's the names of some of the kind of tests they can do. The one in Banting, yeah. So the one in the Malaysian Remote Sensing Agency is interesting because they are called a closed agency. They only work with government. So that's why we don't know about them. Their clients are other government agencies. Right now they've got 65 agencies, and what's interesting is the agency will come to them and say, look, I have a problem I want to solve. And they gave example of 2 problems. One is that the land, not the one that looks over logging, maybe natural environment, the natural resources, national NRA, National Resources Ministry,
One of
so
those.
they came and said, typically when they have to send the people out to the field to see whether logging is done according to the license given, or there are complaints of illegal logging, you got to turun padang, go into the forest and say, hey, there's nothing here, hoax call.
So this one they use.
So now they use satellite images, and they refresh the images every 14 days. So because of that, from the national, the Environment Ministry itself, Natural Resources, they themselves came up with some data points, and they said that actually, since they started since the Malaysian Remote Sensing Agency came up with this application for them, they have saved 100% in terms of identifying fake calls, right? And even when they go to the field, they've saved 58% in their cost. So far over a 5-year period, they've saved 210 million ringgit. And even more quickly, the Fisheries Department, they use free low-res images from a US satellite, and they built an application for the Fisheries Department where they wanted to help the fishermen identify where are the hotspots where the fish will be. So apparently,
this is not really space, it's really about...
Yeah, but because the satellite captures images where you're right.
So it's really...
Yobin said that, look, space doesn't just, it means, you know...
Sending astronauts and going to Mars and all those things. Exactly. So it's a little bit more relevant and applicable. So there's some great stuff potentially could be...
Talking about fisheries, because now the fishermen can go to places where it's a hotspot for food.
Based on
so
satellite
Food,
images.
right? They identify because the water is colder there. Where there's food, the fish will be there, right?
I see.
So because of that, the Fisheries Department own analysis is that we have saved about 350 million ringgit in exports of fishery, because we were able to increase our fishery catches. So lots of applications like that.
So in conclusion, it's a good thing. I mean, this is a good thing.
That's a lot of good thing. They're doing open data also, so private sector now can go to the website and can plug into the API and can use the data, right, for free.
So so we need to think through how I guess the private sector can get involved also. Are they thinking about
the website? Yeah, they'll create a list, an API, right? I think in third quarter you're being said where you can go to the website and you can see all the data that's under the Open Data Initiative, and also and they said that sometimes the private sector already working with them, right? They don't understand the data because data sets, the raw data is very complex, right? They say, hey, Malaysian Remote Sensing Agency, can you help us crunch the numbers and create with information? And it's a charge service lah. So to be honest, they're doing very good stuff. I was very impressed when I went there. I spoke to the DG and saw what they have there. You should go check it out if you're into this area, right? And you want some data points.
So should we have a chat with BN to maybe send you out to space, and we'll have TechTalk up there in space. We'll do our first session up in Mars or somewhere.
No, we are DNA very low cost lah. Just send us to Langkawi now.
Okay.
Malaysia.
All right, man.
There's a space satellite there in Langkawi. There you go.
I wouldn't know.
All
right, man. Yeah. To Mars and to space. Let's go, man.
Yeah,
all
let's
right.
go. Okay, cheers. Okay.